What's going on, guys? Hey, I'm going to be doing a comparison review between these 16-ounce Cleto Reyes hook and loop training gloves and the 16-ounce Pro MEX training gloves. So stay tuned.
Uber up the styles like miles and shit. Like 60s funky worms with waves and perms. Just sending junky rhythms.
So what's up, guys? Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison review between these Pro MEX hook and loop training gloves. Got these in red. And these Cleto Reyes hook and loop training gloves. I got these in their blue. They're both 16-ounce Velcro closure, so from a size perspective, you can see weight-wise how they compare just from the naked eye. And Pro MEX is a title branded product. It is made in Pakistan. It is basically the copycat of the Cleto Reyes glove, where Cleto Reyes obviously is the standard for all what Mexican gloves are measured by, or just boxing gloves in general. Reyes has been one of the long-standing leaders in the boxing world for making high quality, beautiful gloves. Now, price-wise, these Pro MEXs are $99, typically titled as at least a minimum of 20% off. You can use their newsletter discount code, so you can get them for about $80 plus shipping wherever your shipping is to your location. These are their 2.0 version gloves, so if you've been a subscriber to my channel, or maybe you're new to my channel, I actually did a review on some blue Pro MEX Velcro gloves about a year ago, if not a little bit more than a year ago, which were synthetic leather. They were pretty poor design. They weren't the best quality gloves, not the most comfortable either. And I believe Pro MEX probably, or should I say Title, probably got a bunch of complaints about those gloves and ended up releasing these 2.0 versions, which is an all leather construction glove that's made in Pakistan. Obviously Reyes is made in Mexico. And aside from just the way they look, those, the similarities in both the cuff length as well as the width of the glove, that's about where it ends. Everything else about the gloves are pretty different. So to me, just the only thing that's really similar, I'd say maybe, is just kind of the way Title cuts the glove to kind of give it the Reyes look. But outside of that, these gloves are very different. The only thing that I really say, aside from the cut, is just the logos. You can see it's pretty much a rip-off of the Reyes logo. You can see it looks the same oval look to it with kind of a similar font. And then, of course, the Title uses the Pro MEX stitched on embroidered patch on the back of the Velcro, where Cleto Reyes has theirs stitched onto the back. So very similar in that regards. But that's pretty much where it ends. As you can see, looking at the gloves from the back, the Pro MEX is a little bit shorter and wider. So I'd say it's a little bit more shorter and stockier. I actually like a little bit more of a shorter cuff than the Reyes. I feel that the Reyes is a nice cuff, but it kind of comes up really high on your forearms. But if you do have longer arms, that's not going to be an issue. You can also see how much thicker padding and wrist support that Cleto Reyes uses on their glove compared to Pro MEX. So right here with the Reyes, you can see, man, they use almost a 3/4 inch padding on the back of the wrist. And then you have about, I'd say, a 1/4 inch of padding on the inside of the wrist right there, where the Pro MEX uses about a 1/4 inch right here, but maybe a 1/4 inch, a little bit more on the back. So from a wrist support standpoint, you can see that Reyes really emphasizes the wrist support on the back of the back of the wrist. So you can just see comparison-wise how much thicker the Reyes is. Both gloves are full leather construction, but of course Reyes uses that goat hide, or should I say the goat skin leather. So right off the bat, when you use these Reyes gloves, if you get a brand new pair of Reyes gloves, you notice the smell right out of the box, how much stronger it is. Also, the biggest difference aside from that, aside from the smell and look of it, is just how much thicker the Reyes leather is. It's much more thicker. It has a much more consistent feel and look to it, and it just feels a lot more durable. And it is a lot more durable. If you've ever had Reyes gloves, you know that they last a really long time. The only drawback with Reyes gloves is that there's definitely a break-in period because of the materials they use. It typically takes a little bit longer for you to really get the glove to form to your fist and make it really comfortable, because again, they use really nice materials and it just takes a little while to break in. Now, over the Pro MEX gloves, You know, they use full leather construction. This leather is pretty much comparable to any of the other higher end Title leather products, like some of the, like Fighting Sport Fury, if you see my review on that, the foam channel technology, any of their platinum glove line. The leather is pretty much the same as that quality. So not bad, but not great either, just kind of middle of the road. So, you know, compared to the Reyes, there's really no comparison in quality as far as the leather goes. You can see that both Velcro straps are about a 3.5 inch Velcro strap. They're about the same size. I'd say the Reyes is maybe a hair taller. You know, the strap is a little bit bigger, but not by much. You can see one other thing that I noticed was how much tighter and cleaner the stitching is on the Reyes. Now, if you look around the opening on the palm side, you can see the stitching on this Reyes is super clean, really tight. The double stitching, they put them really nice and close, especially on the thumb. You can see that the stitching goes in and it really embeds into the leather. You can see it also has the ventilated holes on the palm and on the thumb. So they do a really nice job. You can tell there's a lot of pride and craftsmanship. You can also see how much thicker. They use almost a 2-inch piece of elastic right here to hold the palm side together. Now on the Pro MEX, double stitching as well, but you can see the stitching is a little bit wider, not as tight, especially on the thumb. And you can see the thumb right here. It's almost like the stitching is more on the surface and not so much embedded. So using these, this will definitely start to fray a lot quicker than the Reyes. Look at the Reyes compared to the Pro MEX. As well as the thumb edges. So where the leather connects to the inside of the thumb, you can see this has an attached thumb as well. But you can see how much cleaner right here with the Pro MEX. You can see that the leather is getting pulled through. On the Reyes, the leather is nice and clean, and they almost roll over the leather to protect the stitching from breaking through, as well as your, you have your attached thumb there as well. So just from a craftsmanship standpoint, the Reyes is much cleaner. You can also see that the Reyes uses a one-piece design on the back of the hand where the thumb meets the glove. So right here, the Pro MEX actually has some stitching where the thumb connects to the back of the hand. You also notice that the Title, or should I say the Pro MEX, keep saying Title, excuse me, well, it is a Title product, but you can see that the Pro MEX also has a deeper finger compartment and is much more broken in. So when you put these gloves on right off the bat, you can tell that they definitely have a more broken in feel, these Pro MEX gloves. The hand compartment uses more a satin liner, where this uses more of a satin nylon. So this feels more like a winning, moisture wicking type liner. But you can just see how much deeper the finger pocket is. The thumb placement on the Pro MEX is really good. I actually felt that this was really comfortable. So from initial feel, when you put your hand into the glove, right off the bat, to me, the Pro MEX is more comfortable. But with time, the Reyes is comfortable as well. It just takes a little bit longer for you to break the Reyes in. So just keep that in mind with Reyes gloves, that you have to kind of go through a break-in period to get it to that level of comfort that you want. Now looking at the knuckle area, you can see that the Pro MEX is more rounded over, where the Cleto Reyes has more of a flatter punching surface. So you can see here with the Pro MEX is a little bit more rounded right there. And then with the Cleto Reyes, you see it is rounded, but then towards where the knuckle lands, where you make contact with the bag, it's a little bit flatter. So you have a little bit more of a flatter punching surface with the Reyes. And then the inside liner on the Pro MEX gloves, you can see that it says made in Pakistan. Again, is more of like a satin microfiber liner. And then the Reyes is more of a satin polyester liner, very similar to winning. Then you can see the actual tag where it says made in Mexico. And just the overall craftsmanship of the Reyes is much better. The other thing to note is the kind of padding that is in here. So one thing with the Reyes, it's much stiffer. So you can see that I'm pushing on this pretty good. They use a latex foam padding in the Reyes, and I believe that they use a little bit more of a denser layer towards the knuckle area. Compared to the older Reyes gloves, these are much more protective. If you've watched my very first YouTube video I did on some Reyes gloves years ago, the padding on those were super soft. Your knuckles can definitely go through, and I think over the years they've just had a reputation more for a puncher's glove, and people would go for Winning and Grant and other brands because they felt that Reyes would make their hands hurt. Where I think they just kind of revised the kind of foam they use, or should I say the kind of latex. And you can see these are much more denser and thicker. Now the Pro MEX uses latex as well, but they also use the memory foam component. So these are a little bit more softer. I'd say they're more of a medium density compared to these Reyes gloves. And on the inside of the Pro MEX, where your hand sits against the interior of the glove, these are a little bit more form-fitting. So it feels a little bit more of a pillow on the inside compared to the Reyes, where it's a little bit more stiff. Now pricing wise, again, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but these are 99 bucks Reyes, depending on the color and size you get, as well as Velcro or lace up. I know there's some variables. You know, I've seen anywhere from $170 to $200. So you're almost paying, double the price for Reyes, but it's well worth it. You're getting a much better quality product than the Pro MEX. So, picking between the two, me personally, I like the Reyes more. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for a higher end glove that lasts a lot longer than these Pro MEX. But again, you have to keep in mind that you kind of get what you pay for with the Pro MEX. The Pro MEX has a little bit more of a comfortable feel right off the bat and is more broken in. I also feel that the Pro MEX, because of the consistency of this padding, is probably a little bit better for sparring at first, until you break these Reyes in. Then you could probably use these for sparring and all around gym work. But the Pro MEX is I feel is a better sparring glove as well. Weight wise, let's check the weight out and see how much they weigh compared to each other. So let's do the Pro MEX first. Get these Reyes gloves out of the way, zero that. So these are 16 ounce gloves, and the Pro MEX comes in underweight by about an ounce and a half, so 14.4. And I'm assuming these, Reyes, just like the other video I weighed these gloves on, these are going to be a lot heavier. You can just tell by picking these up that they're going to be heavier. So these are actually 18.1 ounces. So like most, authentic, genuine Mexican gloves are typically heavier than they advertise. So just from a weight perspective, you can see how much you can actually feel picking the Reyes gloves, that they're much heavier than the Pro MEX. So again, just something you want to keep in mind. But again, you can see the kind of the profile of the gloves and the quality. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box and where you can find these two gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.